Porn is more accessible than ever in the current times. With just one click, you can see a multitude of videos and images of sexual acts for free, and for most people, this doesn't seem to be a problem. Unlike most people, I'm here to tell you the truth. Porn is not healthy. Not even in moderation. It's an extremely toxic source of cheap dopamine that wires our brains to be a slave to it. How do I know this? Because I broke free out of the chains of boobs and penetration, and I want to share my story to spread awareness and inspire others. It all started at the age of 7 years old. Yes, you heard me correctly. My innocence was stripped away at the young age of 7 years old. I was scrolling on the family computer and somehow found my way into the browsing history. One of my brothers apparently didn't know what incognito was and left a link to a site called Pornhub. I can't remember exactly what I watched at the time, but I remember my eyes just being glued to the screen, unable to look away. Fuck, at the age of 7, I didn't even know what I was looking at apart from a naked girl making lots of weird noises. That was my first introduction to porn. However, the true addiction started a couple years later. At the age of 10, I installed an app called Instagram. What seemed to be a fairly innocent source of entertainment hit a dark plethora of porn. This doesn't happen anymore, but I remember you could just be scrolling the explore page and you would come across self-harm videos and porn videos. It was so out in the open that, of course, I got curious. I started to search up things in the search bar like boobs, butts, sex. Hell, you could even search up #girls and porn would just come up. I remember I would watch these things and be so mesmerized, yet when I was going to bed, I would close my eyes and those videos and images come up in my head, and I felt guilty. From a young age, I just knew it wasn't right. Yet I kept on watching it because it was entertaining. This stage went from Instagram to actually going on dedicated porn sites when Instagram started hammering down on its no porn implementations. This led me into an even deeper rabbit hole as well because I was quite a fan of anime, and this allowed me to find hentai, which made the addiction even worse. Fast forward to me turning 13, still continuing to watch this stuff, but unbeknownst to me, it was about to get a whole lot worse. Since I was finally reaching my teen years, my hormones were through the roof. Puberty was active, and that meant my body started changing physically and mentally. One night, I had a rather sexual dream, which was nothing new, except for this time when I woke up, I realized that I experienced something that they call a wet dream. This terrified me for some weird reason. I remember telling myself that I was going to go to hell and that God hated me because of this. It was a really stupid thought process. But needless to say, this happened a few more times, and I was now aware of my body's new, how do I say this, capabilities. This changed everything. I remember searching up Overwatch. Man, I'm really fucking exposing myself. Whatever. Alright, this is for the cause. Alright, I remember searching up Overwatch porn and I clicked on a video with Diva in it. And I remember hesitantly trying that thing in one of the videos I saw before where the man uses his hand. And once I finished, I felt the deepest feeling of guilt and regret that I have ever felt before. Those thoughts of going to hell rushed back into my head and I swore to myself that I would never do it again. Yet, I guess the guilt wasn't strong enough because the next day I did it twice. Yep, twice. And did it again the day after that until days turned into months. I did it anytime and anywhere I could. I remember one day, I got sick of feeling like I had to, so I tried to partake in this activity called No Nut November. The rules were simple, just don't ejaculate in the month of November. I failed the first day. It was so bad, I literally could not go a day without it. This continued for a long time. Every teenage boy's dream finally came true for me. That dream was getting a girlfriend. We started dating when I was 15, and to be honest, I didn't think someone like me would have gotten a girlfriend that soon, if at all. I had deep feelings for her despite being long distance at the time, and I wasn't even thinking about the nut. Big emphasis on the wasn't part, because after some time, the urges came back. At first, I tried to resist. After all, I have a girlfriend, why would I need that? But the thoughts and urges got worse every day until I gave in. Although, instead of beating myself up over it, I did something even worse. I made excuses for myself. I would tell myself things like, it's just porn, it's not cheating, there's nothing wrong with porn, everybody watches it anyways, I should stop worrying so much. God, I was such a little weirdo. Looking back at how I thought at the time actually disgusts me. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong though, guys. I'm not judging you because I'm aware that it's a genuine struggle and that you can't just say you won't and then it just goes away and you'll never do it anymore, because I know it's fucking hard. Anyways, this caused multiple trust issues within my relationship, and it was continuous for about almost 3 years. Eventually, the cat got out of the bag. My weenie whipping secrets were discovered, and surprise, surprise, she wasn't happy about this, which is understandable to say the least. She had confronted me to talk about it, and as I was trying to defend myself, I realized how I sounded, how warped my perspective on this was. There was so much fucking copium swirling around in my brain, and it was finally being cleared throughout this conversation. This is what it takes to stop, and this is the harsh reality. It's not just you'll say you'll stop and you won't do it anymore. It's not about keeping count of days. It's having a true realization of how this habit that you have is harming you and others. And if you want to keep those people in your life or things in your life, you have to stop. I didn't have time to cope even more and beat myself up. If I wanted to fix things and make things right, I had to stop now. So I cut it off cold turkey. My determination was so strong that I no longer felt the urges on most days. I got busy, I started meditating, journaling, focusing on the gym more. I added many productive things to do in my life to replace those empty hours that I used to tickle my tuba with things that would improve my life and improve my relationship. And pause, please don't think that it was this perfect transition though. I did have days where I slipped up. I'm definitely not saying that it happened, but even those disappeared to where I was just focused on productivity and the relationship. So what's my advice? My advice to you guys might not be the no-fap answer you want to hear, but it's the truth. You need a true reason to stop. Figure out what'll become of your life if you do not stop. Get someone to keep you accountable, because as humiliating and embarrassing as it is, it's really helpful to have someone in your corner. Your transition won't be perfect, plain and simple, but it can be achieved through enough dedication. Porn is the enemy that destroys and preys upon men of many ages, and it's my responsibility as an advocate for the well-being of men to speak out against it. Good luck, guys. Like, subscribe, click on the video on the screen if you're cool. Okay, bye.